To start off with, you gotta need to understand that you gotta be living your life day by day. That means every time you wake up, you'll wake up with no money. Okay, you're gonna be living in what we call the squatters area, right? A government-owned place, right, where they're letting people to live there. You'll be living in, a house or a room which doesn't have electricity, right? You'd be able to be inside a community of crooks, literally, from drug dealers. You'll be living with, smugglers inside one compound, right? And you will become a part of the family there. And the moment you're in, you can never get out.
All right, Jamir, welcome to the show, bro.
Thanks for having me, Ross. Appreciate you, man.
Bro, Jamir, I'm excited for today, man. This is going to be a
Same here,
great
man.
episode, bro. Great conversation ahead of us.
I know that, man. And again, appreciate you for having me, man. Looking forward
Absolutely.
for today.
Absolutely, bro. You have one of the most inspirational stories, and I'm super excited to share it with the audience for everybody that's listening on YouTube or Apple, Spotify. Thank you so much for being here. Now, Jamir, we're on completely opposite time zones. So for me, it's noon. For you, it's midnight.
Yeah, that's right.
My man. Crazy stuff, bro. You're on the other side of the world, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's. Yeah, I'm more of a night owl, bro. You know that. So yeah, all
Mm,
good here for me.
me too. Me too. Why are you a night owl?
Servicing mostly U.S. Market, European market, and some people in Canada as well. So I have to stay up all night, to go ahead and work some stuff for them with
Mm.
clients and all. So I'm used to that, man. I've been doing this for 7 freaking years now. So I'm loving what I do.
Yeah, bro. So you work with a lot of clients in the States and in Canada. But for the listeners out there that don't know, you're actually tuning in from the Philippines, right?
That is correct. Philippines represent y'all.
My man. So Jameer, man, we've been connected, bro. We go way back. We go
I
way
know.
back for years and years and years. And we know each other, but the purpose of this episode is to share with the people, who you are and what you do so that they can get to know you and see what you're all about. So for the people that are just tuning in now, would you mind to give us like a brief overview of what you do?
Brief might be a bit underrated, I'd say, but I'll try to make it brief for you, bro. And again, before anything else, I want to thank you for having me here, man. Seriously, it's a real pleasure to be to be here and to be sharing my story. And going back to your question, bro. Well, currently I am a freelancer, doing freelance jobs, specifically in Upwork, and I'm building sales funnels for clients, and been doing that for nearly 7 years now. And I had the opportunity to, to master the field, working with you, of course, as one of the, I'd say one of the first clients I ever had, ever trusted me to be on the platform. And for everybody listening or tuning in right now, as you may or may not be aware, living in a third world country like the Philippines is pretty tough. And cracking the code and literally doing good at freelancing here is a tough thing to do. And you can barely see Filipinos, or maybe you can count them right on your fingers, how many successful freelancers from the Philippines could be. But I'm just one of the few people that are pretty much blessed to be in this situation right now. And I hate to say this, but I guess, with the pandemic that literally hit the entire world, man. Um, I mean, I could literally say that. since I've been already doing this, it's nothing new to me. But for my co-Filipinos out here in our country, people are really struggling to make some money, man. So that's part of my mission and vision, at least for the end of 2020, to somehow try and share my story. And that's why when you invited me, it literally is a no-brainer for me, man, to be here. Apart from you and I having history together, I felt like my story could probably bring some inspiration for people in my country and for people in general that's really struggling to make some money at
Mm,
this point in time. But going back, just I've been building sales funnels. I've serviced clients all over the country, but 90% of my clients are literally coming from the U.S., Canada, UK. I could count some from Australia too, and that's exactly the reason. That's why I'm more of a night owl. I stay up late at night to do work, and I'm loving it, man.
mm. Incredible stuff, bro. So you're a digital entrepreneur working online, utilizing the platform Upwork, which for the listeners out there, if you've never checked out Upwork and you need some help in your business, get on there. It's a great platform. Jamir,
Yeah,
bro, a lot of people don't know this, man. I'm gonna spill the beans.
shit.
So 3 years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago, I created a program called Flipping on Fire.
Hmm.
I hit you up because you're the best in the business. And you built that funnel for me. You built that funnel using ClickFunnels. And that funnel actually generated hundreds of thousands of dollars selling that program. To this day, I just made sales the other day using the
Oh, really?
same funnel that you built. I haven't changed a thing. It works. And I'm sure your skills have improved 1,000% since you built that funnel. But for the listeners out there, I just want to get this out the way. If you need a sales funnel, if you need anything when it comes to digital marketing to promote your products or services, Jamir is the go-to guy. Like
Whoa, man.
your work ethic, your skills, your expertise. I mean, you really became a master of your craft, bro. Really.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate you for telling me that. And literally, I just learned about it when we hooked up during my podcast episode, and I was literally blown, thinking that you're still making money out of it, despite
Still
it was like years ago.
to this day, bro. And that's the power of digital marketing, right? The
Correct.
power of
Yeah.
having an online presence. You can just build up the machine, right? And let the funnel just do its work, right?
Correct, man.
Just consistently just cranking out sales, getting customers. So it's awesome,
Agree.
man. I'm glad to hear that the pandemic really hasn't affected you when it comes to like employment and working, because one of the biggest benefits of working online, especially in the freelance world, is you can have clients from all over the world, right?
Correct, man.
And you're used to
Yeah.
working from home anyway,
Exactly.
you know?
Yeah.
So,
And it's really crazy, man. I mean, if you really come to think of it, um, I've been doing this for like years now, and I've never ever came to even digest, or I'd say realize, that this freaking situation happening now could ever happen. And if I was working in a corporate company, like I mean here in our country, it could have been a disaster, man. Because I have a family to feed. I got my own physical business I'm managing here, and it could have been pretty tough when it hit. But gladly, that situation is already neutralized. Um, and yeah, man,
mm,
that's the thing. I really wanted. I really wanted to inspire people, bro, and it was kind of like a wake up call for me. If I have enough knowledge in me, and why not share it, right? literally decided to do that, man. Because
Mm,
not just for myself. I know it's really fulfilling to help out people, but what's really fulfilling is to make other people's lives change for the better.
I agree. That's what it's all about, man. So, Jameer, I'm excited for this part because we've known each other for years, and I don't even know your true backstory. So I'm excited to learn. First off, where did you grow up?
Awesome, man. Well, I grew up in Cebu City. It's right in the southern part of the country. I literally grew up in the ghetto, bro. So I've been, growing up pretty exposed with, gangs, brotherhood, and stuff. And I was literally living in the ghetto. And the ghetto in the Philippines is way different there in your country. Here, man, it's the slumps of all slumps. It's literally, the toughest of the toughest, the bravest of the bravest. Um, and that's where I grew up. But, with my family background, I grew up pretty having everything I have. My mom was used to be a bank manager. My dad, who passed away this year, was working as a seaman, working overseas. So money for us wasn't really a problem. But I was literally went to a different direction. I would I probably wouldn't say that it's what it was all about my peers and the company I was with. But I'm growing up. I was literally trying to explore because with my family background and growing up with money being provided and all that stuff, I decided when I was a teenager, literally decided how it feels like to have nothing. That's how crazy I was. So, put up a gang, put up a group, was so exposed with all those stuff, and then sudden twist of happenings. I was really into dancing, so that's really got me all hooked up, and it was somehow a good diversion, I'd say. So instead of joining gangs and all those stuff, I decided to build my own dance crew. Shout out to everybody watching this or hearing this. So yeah, I danced professionally for a good run of 6 years. Dancing on television, performing with actors and actresses on stage, and I was literally loving it. I was also making money on the side, so it was cool. I was given all the gears like sneakers and stuff, Jordans. So everything's well provided from TV companies
No shit.
uh,
I
during
had
those
no
days.
idea you got the moves, bro. what,
I
what,
was
what
keeping
kind of dance are we talking about? Break
uh,
dancing?
w- break dancing, bro. Hip hop, break dancing, all those stuff. That was way back 1996 till 2002. That was a good stretch there. So, dude, here, well, I was pretty well known, man. I mean, getting my face being exposed on television almost every day. So it literally tried helped me a lot in terms of building my confidence out. So considering that I was the choreographer during that time, and I was like the leader of the pack, that's where I kind of like developed my leadership skills. At an early stage. Well, I guess from the gangs that I've used to, because I've been the OGs during those time, man. But yeah, literally made that little transition into dancing. So my passion and love with hip hop started there, right?
Mm.
From the gangs that I joined, from the dance group that I built, and then I was so thankful, man, that I made that transition. If not, I don't know if I would still be speaking with you right now, to tell you honestly, with how crazy Cebu was during those days. And from that, got married so early at age 18, and then got my son, and I've my first wife. Actually, I had three kids there, and then because of that, I decided to stop or quit dancing, which was really my passion during that time. So it really hurt me so bad, but I had to, I had to give it up for the sake of my family. So one thing that sucks during that time, bro, because I really didn't have a stable job. So what I
Mm.
did is that I became a fast food crew attendant for top fast food chains here in the country, Kentucky Fried Chicken, to name a few. And yeah, worked there for 2 years. Started earning only about 22 pesos and 50 cents, just like 50 cents there in US dollars.
Wait,
So
an hour?
an hour. So
22. Hang on, I got to do the calculation here.
yeah, do the math, bro, for
20,
me.
wait,
Appreciate you.
22 and a half pesos.
32 and a half
Yeah,
pesos.
that's 50 cents US
Yeah,
per
50
hour.
cents per hour. And did that for 2 years, bro. Did that for 2 years. And then I only had one kid during that time. And then I suddenly realized that, man, I need to change, man, because I couldn't sustain having a salary like this, as low as this, and I couldn't feed my family and provide good good stuff for them. And made a switch. Decided to go work as a security guard. Pay was a bit higher. I was able to have or earn around 4,500 pesos per month, which was still pretty low, but it was a bit more sustainable compared to the previous one that I was earning, bro. And I was assigned at banks. I was posted there. I was assigned at commercial buildings, and then suddenly one day, it was a Sunday. Couldn't forget this, bro. It was a Sunday where nobody's going to the building, right? Because it was a Sunday, and I was literally the person in there guarding the establishment. So I had a moment to think about my life during that time, and was like, "What the hell am I doing here, man?" I've I can see my batchmates over in high school, right? Um, Before that day came, Saturday that was, we had a reunion with my batchmates. Batch 98, shout out to all of you if you're tuning in. So it was a wake up call for me, bro. Seeing my batchmates, I could see one that is already an attorney. I can see one that's a doctor. I can see one that's already a millionaire doing network marketing. And I was a security guard earning 4,500 pesos a month. And I was like the smartest of them all, bro.
Wow.
And I did like,
It
what the
killed
hell
it killed
happened
you.
to me? Yeah, it crushed me, literally. And I was like blaming myself. Why did it happen to me? And it came to a realization that it was totally because of me and decisions I made in life, the crazy things I've done. And I was like 20, 24 years old during that freaking situation that I was in. So I literally had to pull the trigger, but I had to make a sudden change. So, literally decided to move out. By moving out, I mean, my relationship with my first wife didn't pan out well as I hoped to. I hope so. So, that was one of the biggest decisions I made. It was a very painful, tragic experience I had, traumatic experience, not just for myself, bro, but for my kids that I left. But left in the sense that the marriage was gone, but I was still in constant communication with my kids because I really don't want to, I want to keep it because they mean so much to me, and they're exactly the reason why I'm really striving for greatness, as so we speak. And yeah, man, that decision led me to working for a BPO company, call center companies, and it's a huge thing in our country, bro. Just so you know. Um, the pay is so freaking high here, at least just for ourselves here in our country. And the thing is, it was a crazy experience. The jump from a security guard to a call center agent was really massive, bro. And I couldn't stress out even further. Not just the pay, but the profession itself. You know what I mean? So I made a jump, applied to different call center companies until I was hired with one company that really trusted me and invested in me. So from 4,500 pesos, I was earning 16,000 pesos now. So that was a huge jump for me, right?
Yeah, that's a big jump.
And it was. And one thing which was pretty exciting because I began to have my self confidence back. I'm beginning to have my confidence back over those times. And crazy stuff about it is that during those times, bro, they or those companies require to have at least 2 years of college experience. And I was a college dropout, bro. And just like literally,
Me too.
I think just right around my first year in college, decided to drop out of college. And again, those crazy decisions that I did in life, but I literally don't regret it because it took me to where I am at now. Learned from those experiences, made me a solid person as I am now. So went to the interview, and then they asked me about it. But what I did is that I said yes, although I didn't, and then signed the contract. And then after the 6 months, this is one funny story. HR, literally asked for my transcript, the records, some proof that I am literally a at least second year college, and then I just kept on dissing what they required me to do, and they can't take me off, bro, because I was really performing during that time. I was one of the top agents during that time, and that literally led me to entering sales and marketing. Right? I
Wait,
had
wait.
literally no background.
Wait, so they came to you after you already working there, and they
I
wanted to
was already
see.
working.
Yeah, they wanted to see your degree. They wanted some proof,
Yep. They wanted some proof,
but you were
and
you didn't have anything.
I don't have any proof. But they can't fire me.
Right.
They can't fire me because of that. Because so I was like more of a smart ass during those times. Tried to make some workaround, and I think it was literally more of my performance during those times because it was bringing money for the company. And then they couldn't dare firing me because of that. So I got extended, and that lasted there for 2 years. And then, suddenly made another transition in life. Wanted to have some greener pasture for myself and my family. So moved on to another company, bro. And then from 16 or $18,000 pesos during that time, move on to a publishing company, and then I was then earning 22,000 pesos, and then I was earning massive commissions. That's what I love most about it. So in a month, I was like dropping maybe around 30, 40,000 pesos in a month, which was really, really sustainable during those times. And it really enhanced my sales and marketing even more. That skill even more during that time. And
Wow.
that's when I found Macy, my wife. So we worked together, same company, same office, and then we got our son, Memphis. And then when we have him, that's when we decided to move over here in Mindanao, the most southern part of the country. And because of that, bro, it led me to try and venture in finding a more profitable venture, I'd say. And that led me to Upwork, which was Odesk before, and that
That's
took me
OG
to where I am
OG level right there. Only the real ones know about
now.
Odesk.
Yeah, for real, bro, for
But
real.
by the way, bro, I love your son's name, bro. Memphis. That's an awesome name. Honestly, what was the inspiration behind?
Oh,
behind that.
you've seen the movie Gone in 60 Seconds? Nicolas
Yes.
Cage? Yeah,
Yes.
it came from there, Memphis.
I love it.
I love the character, bro. The love for his brother, the drive and the passion. Not the not the stealing part though. It's just like the
Boosting
total character
cars.
of the person, bro.
All right, Jameer, man, you laid it on us. I want to digest some of this stuff here that you just shared with us.
Sure,
By
man.
the way, man, dude, much love and thank you to opening up that backstory for us. But I definitely
No
want to
problem.
digest a few of those things, man. And you know, you said at one point you were making, it's just it's so interesting for me. Most of the listeners on the show are from the U.S., right?
Hmm.
And we live in two completely different
Different worlds.
worlds, right? And at the beginning of the podcast, you mentioned that the Philippines is a third world country. Some of our worst areas here in the States don't even hold a candle to some places in the Philippines, right? And of course, like anywhere, there's wealthy people everywhere, but
Yeah,
in like the impoverished areas, I mean, it's way different. So you had
yeah.
mentioned that at one point you were earning 22,000 pesos per month, right? Which equates to about 450 bucks US, right?
Hmm.
So here in the US, if you were to earn 450 bucks a month, you would be sleeping in the streets.
Really nice.
Yes, like there is you would not survive. You'd be sleeping on a cardboard tent box. Crazy. No shit.
Really
Yeah, I mean, cost of living here is astronomical,
pretty high.
but even at like the bare minimum for like the cheapest possible apartment you could find, I mean, you're probably looking at like 500 bucks a month. If you get
Yeah.
like a room, maybe you could rent the room for cheaper than that, but even still, I mean, it's just different.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know for that 22,000 pesos per month in your country, like how far does that get you over there?
Wow, dude. Here the cost of living is pretty low, bro. For 22,000 pesos a month here, you can have a pretty decent apartment with that, air conditioned and all. You can have your own kitchen, at least inside your
Right.
duplex or your apartment building. Yeah, it is sustainable. You
Yeah.
could buy, enough food for yourself. But if you're married, bro, it still doesn't fit
It doesn't
for,
cut it.
yeah, it doesn't cut it
Right.
at all. But for single guys or a person, that could pretty be sustainable. But on those months, bro, I still had the chance to shed some money for my kids who was already living separate from me, which is actually the goal. But the cool part about that, bro, is that I have a fixed income monthly at that rate, 22,000. But I am closing percentages, commissions
Right.
per
So you're getting
sale that I
extra.
do.
Of
Yeah,
course.
which
Right.
is more enormous than what I am, earning on a monthly cut from the company. So it was like, you know, probably if I'd be earning around 30, 40,000, which was actually my goal during that time. So it was really more big of an achievement for me on a monthly basis. But you are right, bro. There's a total difference in terms of living in the States and living here in our country. If you are earning, like what I told you, the amount that I was earning during that time, you could live a fairly decent lifestyle in our
Right.
country.
So
There, it's the opposite, I guess.
now by working as a freelancer, right, and having the skills that you have, and anybody for that matter that develops, online skills, having
Mhm.
clients from the US, from Canada, from Europe that are going to pay premiums for those services. I mean, your income must have 1000x, right?
Yes,
I mean, 20,000 pesos. I mean, that's baby money to what you
it
could
is.
be selling your services for to clients here in the States, right?
That is true. That is true.
So you're
And that's
living like a
exactly the
baller.
reason.
You balling now, bro. Jameer, you got a Ferrari, bro? Yeah.
Well, bro, I mean, yeah, I'm just really, really thankful for the opportunity that, that the man above gave me, man.
Mm,
With all the things that I'm having right now, I've never really imagined this, bro. I mean, literally coming from scratch and living from the slums. Really couldn't imagine. Even if during I have a rule, bro. By the way, from 5 in the afternoon till 6 in the afternoon, that 1 hour, I totally allocate it just for myself. I don't hold my phone. I just literally try and absorb everything that is happening to me. That's daily. That has been my rule. And every time I think and I go back to where I was before and to where I am at now, I just really couldn't imagine it. And yeah, man, it's been a wonderful journey. I couldn't complain.
mm. Yo, Jimmy, I'm curious, man. You mentioned that you grew up in those slummy areas. For context, right? For someone that has never even experienced that type of lifestyle, for someone that can't even picture what that's even like, you know, shed some light on that if you could, man. What's it
Yeah,
what's it like to grow up in the slums of a third world country? Like what's it
yeah.
really like, man? Not what they show on TV, like what's it really like?
I'm gonna spill the beans, bro. And some people might be mad about me telling this, especially with politicians here in our country. But fuck it, man. I'm gonna spill the beans for you. Well, to start off with, you gotta need to understand that you gotta be living your life day by day. That means every time you wake up, you'll wake up with no money. Okay, you're gonna be living in what we call the squatters area, right? A government-owned place, right, where they're letting people to live there. You'll be living in, a house or a room which doesn't have electricity, right? You'd be able to be inside a community of crooks, literally, from drug dealers. You'll be living with, smugglers inside one compound, right? And you will become a part of the family there. And the moment you're in, you can never get out, right? That's how fucked up it was, bro, right? You have to wake up and then you're gonna be thinking about what to eat for breakfast. 'Cause you got none. So what do? You hook up with your gang friends and try to make money out of asking money from people outside the streets. That's how crazy it was, right? So yeah, live the
Wow.
life like that for 2 years, man. Imagine no electricity, right? You'll be facing bad people every day, and when I say bad, real bad people, criminals and all those shit, man. And
Right.
those that story aren't really seen on movies, bro. Even on Philippine television, it's not the reality. But when you live there, when you experience that, that's when you'd be able to appreciate all the things that been given to you from the man above in life. So it
Wow.
I'd say it was a game changer for me. Having to experience that, and then finally deciding to make a sudden twist
Mm.
in life in general.
Now, is there a lot of violence in that type of
Yeah,
a compound?
it is so much violence, bro. Um, okay, yeah, I would probably share it to you, but I got arrested, bro.
Hey,
Was crazy, bro. crazy, man.
All right,
Um,
I don't want you to incriminate yourself, bro. I'm just
oh
kidding, man.
no, I mean, all good, man.
I
Everything's all clear now. It was just more of the
no,
gang gang wars and shit, trying to own some territories during those times. Because we own certain blocks from the streets, right? And if someone infiltrates your streets, like another gang from another, hood comes in, that's a different story, and it's gonna be war, man. So that happens to me and my gang almost all the time, and those are the craziest things that I always remember. Yeah, I
wow.
got into jail. Gladly, everything's all sorted out after that, and then yeah, I was really a knucklehead during those times, man.
Jamir, look, brother, I know you're the nicest guy in the world, man. I would trust you. I feel safe around you, and I'll always be cool with you. But if I didn't know you and I saw you in the streets, I mean, you're an intimidating guy, bro. You got that look about you, tatted up, man. You got the Dodgers hat. I mean, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to get on your bad side, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, with all seriousness, bro, that's one of them. I think most people perceive who I am, and I couldn't take that away from people, man. I mean, just trying to be who I am. I don't give, you know, I don't give a shit of what people think about me. But yeah, man, I've learned a lot from those experiences. But it's nothing new, man. It's nothing new. When people see me, that I may look a little intimidating, even here in our country, wherever place I go. But I'm used to that. But it's not really the intention. It's just that they don't know me.
Of
It's just that
course,
their impression.
judging books by the cover, man.
Yeah,
Trust me,
you're right.
Jameer, on probably 6 days a week, I'm wearing sweatpants and a hoodie. I walk into a bank, they're thinking I'm fucking a homeless man looking for.
Really, bro,
Some
you
days I
get that
don't
impression
shave.
sometimes?
Oh, all the time. Because I don't. I'm not one to really dress. I don't really wear suits a lot. You know, I dress
Yeah,
comfortable and wear my hats and I
same here,
get
man.
people look
Mhm.
at me. I walk into a restaurant, I get the looks. Until you you
I
order.
could totally relate, man. Even if I go to first class, hotels and restaurants, that's always been a problem. Macy just laughs at me
Yeah.
every time. No, pull up my cash, and I always pay on cash. But fuck it, how much is that?
Well,
Boom.
we live in a judgmental world, man.
And
People.
that sucks.
It's unfortunate. I have to ask this question, man, because
Sure, bro.
I'm super curious about this one. So here in the states, right? If I call the police right now, or I need an ambulance, or my house is on fire, I know that someone's gonna show up here in like 2 minutes, maybe even less.
Hmm.
Living
Wow.
in those impoverished areas, like the compounds that you talked about, if something like that happened, like how are the response times? I've always wondered, like if there
Oh,
was like violence, like if you get stabbed and you need an ambulance, like what is that process like over there in the third
dude,
world?
in reality, that never happens. Because you know what? Nobody calls the police, bro. When you're inside, nobody calls the police. You need to save your ass when you get beaten inside. And lucky if you are alive.
Oh
That's how fucked
shit!
up it is, man. Nobody calls the police when you're inside. No,
Really?
nobody gives a shit about what's happening to you, right? That's how crazy it is.
Wow.
And that's some of the reasons why I think why our country is, at least from my opinion, bro, why we are stuck as to where we're at right now. It's because of that. It's because of that thing. Um, they need to capitalize on that first. Work on those areas first before you can call yourself successful. We are blinded by the news. We are blinded by what social media shows us. But if you experienced living it yourself in those slum areas, I mean, you're gonna come to realize that those things literally are happening, and you gotta need to realize that. Um, Good question you have there. When fire breaks out, right? When fire breaks out, they come in as fast as 15, 20 minutes tops. Come in there. But what happens? It's not the fireman that literally holds the hose. Those people will be getting the hose, trying to save their own houses, man.
No
And nobody can
shit.
control that. Yep. That's how crazy it is. And that's a reality.
Wow.
And I can attest to that. Fire
That's
folks out.
wild.
Yeah. It's really wild,
You
bro.
got to
And
put your own
then
fire out.
yeah. And that's why when fire happens in those areas, literally no one could be saved. Yeah, we can probably save lives, but properties and all those stuff, nah, man, it's impossible to save one.
Wow, bro. It's
Yeah, but
crazy, man.
police, ambulances in those areas, it just literally
Forget
doesn't
it.
happen.
Wow.
Doesn't happen.
I, that's crazy, bro. Because even here, in the States, in the worst possible areas like Detroit or the Bronx, I mean, if something happens, you'll still get the responders right away.
Really.
Yeah, like even in the worst of areas. So I've always been curious about that.
Yeah.
It sounds like you got to really fend for yourself and your family, in those slums, man, those bad areas. But I know the Philippines is a beautiful country. I know
It
not all the
is.
areas
It
are
is.
like that. I know that there's some nice tourism, beautiful cities, and a
For
lot of
sure.
nice
For
restaurants
sure.
and stuff. So it's not all bad. I don't want it's just like anywhere. I don't want the listeners to be like, I'm never going to the Philippines. That place sounds
Yeah. It's
terrible.
just that there are some isolated areas in the country, same like as the States
Of
or any
course.
other country in general. It's just that I grew up at some of those areas, man. So
Of
just
course.
wanted to share that out. At least people would have a good overview
Yeah,
as
for
to
sure.
where I came and how I became, how I
No, it
become.
really it really helps, man. Especially like a lot of times, bro, people take shit for granted. You know that. They take
Yeah,
they take stuff for granted and they think that they have it bad and somebody else out there always has it worse. Right? Like one of my
worse
favorite
situations. Yeah,
sayings is, somebody would change swap with you any day of the week for your problems, right? Somebody would laugh at your problems because of how bad they have
true,
it. Somebody always has it worse. You got to count your blessings and be grateful for what you have, right?
true, true,
So,
man.
we all want things. It's fine to want more, but you got to really be grateful for what you have.
For what you have,
Food,
exactly.
roof, lights, like you said, living with no electricity. Oh my, the sheer thought of that makes me sick. Like
Yeah, man.
that's terrible. Like not being able to just
Can
hop
you
into a
can you
shower.
imagine yourself living with no electricity for 2 freaking years, man? Can you imagine yourself?
No, I couldn't do it for a day. Dude, I couldn't do it for like an hour. If we get a bad storm and the power goes out and there's no internet, I'm freaking out already. 30 minutes, I'm ready to go to a hotel. I can't even imagine that, bro. In all
Yeah, man. I mean,
seriousness.
that's exactly what I was talking about, bro. Never take simple things in life for granted, man. I've learned that the hard way. I've learned that the hard way, and I can really attest to that. It's been tough, but once you realize that, and I mean literally realizing that, not just by way of saying it, but you gotta feel it, man.
Right.
When you do that, then you'd be able to enjoy life even better.
Absolutely, man. So, Jameer, I want to kind of bring things along that journey that you were sharing with us, and kind of bring it up within the last couple of years. Bring it full circle. So eventually,
Mhm.
you got onto Odesk, which is now Upwork, right? And I guess you're saying to yourself at this time, "Hey, I'm just going to be a freelancer, for clients around the world." Now, did somebody like put you onto that and tell you, "Hey, there's this website," or like how did that come to be?
Yeah, it's there's a funny story about that, bro. So it all started way back when we were in Cebu City with Macy when we had Memphis already, and I think it was at 4 months since he was born during that time. Then our nanny didn't come back. So I was forced to, take care of my son at 4 months old because Maisie was working. So we're kind of like alternatively shifting ourselves day to day. Who's going to be working on this day? Who's going to be taking care of the baby? And I was like, we can't have a life like this, man. And we need to make a decision. So Macy and I decided, my wife and I decided to move out here in South Cotabato. It's southern part of the country, and then I decided to step away from the city life, if you know what I mean. Kind of live a life in a laid back province, like literally, having a good grasp of fresh air every day.
Peace and quiet.
And when I saw the place, bro, I was like, dude, this is way better than the city. I love it here. So, of course, we had enough savings when we decided to come here. So we had enough money to sustain for a few months. And then one day, we suddenly don't have the money. So, dude, I have to have work, right? Because I need to have money and pick it up. So I was like, kind of like overwhelmed with how cheap the food is, right? How the cheap electricity bill is, the internet, uh, you know, uh, monthly payments. Everything is so low, bro, and I was blown by it compared to living in a city in Cebu, and from here, from where I'm at. So then one day I decided to go and try to find jobs, right? And I was used to earning 40, 30,000, maybe 50,000 monthly. And I was eyeing for that same figure. And I didn't realize I was living in a province, right? It's no longer a city life I'm living, or we're living in, for that matter. So I was trying to find for a call center company here. And then I did find one. And then that's the immediate first question I did ask: how much is the salary? And then they was offering like 8,000 pesos, and I was like, whoa, I don't think I can take that. So I did try and go search for different different companies, and then I found one which is probably about 3-4 hour drive from where I'm living. So if you come it up back and forth, just like 6-8 hours of travel, commuting every day, and I was like, I can't do that. Literally can't do that. It could really drain me. And having to work for 8 hours, so that's like 16 hours in total.
No way.
So yeah, it's no freaking way to do that. And then with the power of social media, I came across a post from a good friend of mine, who's also a sponsor of my podcast, Dave Maestacampo. He was the one who introduced me to Odesk, bro. So he told me, dude, why don't you try it out? I mean, you could try and explore some new stuff. You're good at sales and marketing, right? So maybe go ahead and do that venture over. You can just simply create your account, apply for jobs, and then I didn't have a computer during those times, bro. As crazy as it may sound. So when I found, a desktop that my father here has, and literally no one's using it. I tried grabbing it, setting it up, and then I just realized that it was working, and I was like, I'm gonna be using this. And then that day, contacted a internet provider, hooked it up, and then made my account. But dude, after creating my account, it took me 2 months to land a job. And the first person to hire me was Amir, our good friend.
Amir was first.
Amir was the first. Amir was the first ever. And one thing which was
Never knew
crazy,
that.
bro. Yeah, and one thing which was crazy is that I don't know if you've seen how Amir's strategy was before, but I was managing his messenger wasn't built before, but I was managing his messages. I was like Amir with a letter J in it.
I remember.
Yeah, remember that? So I managed his messages, but all leading to taking everybody to his weekly webinar, which is a Monday night webinar. So with his knowledge and with my stock knowledge already with sales marketing, I literally learned a lot from him, and then hooked me up with you, and then everything
It's been game over
all
ever
went crazy
since.
afterwards, man.
You
Yeah.
know, it's amazing how life just kind of happens like that, right? It's like one
Yeah.
thing when you show up, opportunities present themselves, and it's just like one thing leads to another, right? So I always tell
Mhm.
people, and that's one of the biggest messages of this podcast is in life, you just have to show up, right? If you want to win, if you want to be successful, show up. Show up. Don't
I
worry
agree with
about the thousand steps that need to happen. Start small, baby steps. Just show up, right? It's like half the battle. It's like
exactly, bro.
walking into the gym is already half the battle. If you can do that, you might as well work out because you're already there, right? So it's
Yeah.
like that, just one thing leads to another. That's awesome, bro. It really
Thanks, bro.
super inspirational, man. Jameer, if you were to go back in time, right, to any time period of your life that sticks out, knowing what you know now, is there anything that you would have done differently if you could go back to that point?
Are we talking about personal life or the business side of it?
Just across the board, like knowing what you know now, is there anything that you would change? Like you can snap your fingers and go back and say, I'm going to change. I'm
Yeah,
going to.
I can probably think of two possible scenarios, bro. I think one of which is I would probably try and go back and ask if I could probably spend more time with my dad. Um, yeah, 'cause I've been missing him, man. Seriously, he passed away last February, and it was a total wreck for me personally. Losing him was so tough for me, man. I just really wish that I could have spent more time with him growing up. I was really stubborn. Um, I had so much hate with him growing up, but I didn't realize that until I got into a mature age or a mature stage in my life that he was doing it for my benefit and for my sake. He wanted me to become a better person. He didn't want me to be in a different direction, but I chose to go a different direction. That's one thing I'd probably do.
Yeah, rest
Second
in
thing,
peace
bro,
to your
is
pops, man. I know he had a
yeah,
tough battle, man. He
he had
he was a fighter, bro. I followed everything on social media. So
yeah, appreciate for that. Man. It was a tough a year battle for him, and it was such an experience. But at least I'm getting some positives with it because of him. I decided to stay in shape in terms of my health. It was a big wake up call, not just for me, but for our entire family. We have this history of liver cancer in us, so it's something that I am managing now. I'm sorry, I think that's not the word. Not managing, but I'm trying to make a transition and getting a much healthier lifestyle. So it was a wake up call, and then you know, um, having the importance of family, bro. That's one thing that I hold on to. And then another one, probably in the business side of things, bro. I would probably try and go back um, to where I decided to put up my first ever business because I didn't manage it manage it so well. Um, I would probably go back to that stage. I should have invested more time in it. But I was torn, literally torn. But I don't know if I shared this over to you, bro. But I used to own an apparel shop where I sell caps, shoes, clothes, all those kind of stuff. And Macy and I was kind of overwhelmed when we started because we were like earning so much when we did that. But the thing is, we didn't tap on the social media side of things. This was way back 2011, 2010. Um, and with the knowledge I already have now, I want to go back and kill it, man. Because I have more in-depth knowledge now with how to manage business, how to
right,
make money, how to tap social media, how to run ads, funnels, so those kind of stuff.
So you could revitalize that business.
Yeah, man.
I
Because
like
I
it.
had a good supplier of the stuff that I was selling. I got a good deal from a company in China that provides me all those stuff. Really good stuff, I'd say. And it's just that I mismanaged finances. I was overwhelmed with the amount of money coming in. I really didn't manage it so well. And if only I could go back, I would literally apply the knowledge that I've gained over those years to
Mm,
that business still. And to tell you honestly, bro, I am reviving it literally. I'm putting up another shop, which will be coming out by December. So hopefully, you know,
nice. Are you gonna sell online or
both physical store and gonna be selling online. So
nice,
before
bro?
it was just merely on the physical side of things. Now it's gonna be working in tandem.
I love it, bro. That's awesome, man. I'll have to get some stuff, man, when you launch.
I'm gonna hook you up with a couple of pairs, man.
Awesome, bro. Yo, Jamir, man, the people are rocking with you, man. They've been tuned in for the last 54 minutes. They're inspired, man. That's what this is all about.
Yeah, man.
And they want to know, man, what is your message to the people, right? You got somebody that's listening right now. Maybe they're unhappy in their life. They're not feeling fulfilled. They're not doing what they want to be doing. They don't know which direction to take. Could be a number of things. What would you tell that person?
Um, I mean, there's tons of things I want to share, bro. But one thing that really stands out, which always and will always be my personal mantra, is that always take the first step.
Mm,
Make that first step. Do it. The moment that thought or concept, whatever thing that you're passionate about or you're thinking about doing, do it. Never, ever hesitate of holding back, trying to weigh the pros and cons. Because fuck, man, it's literally there. When it came to your mind, you had the intention to do it, right? And the only way to know if it works or not is right after you've done it. And
mm,
that's always my mantra, bro. And
boom.
I'm always applying that in life in general. I never ever hesitate. That's why I think I'm a chronic buyer, I'd say. Um, I always buy stuff which I don't necessarily need, but if it comes to my mind, I want to go ahead and buy it. And then it comes. It's really applicable in life, bro. And if you're in a if if you're someone listening to the show right now, and if you're in a tough position or maybe going through some difficult times, I mean, yeah, there's always hope. It's just a matter of you taking that very first step or very first action. It
Mm,
could be a massive turn of events or a thing that you are passionate about doing. Then literally do it. Never hesitate. I mean, at the end of the day, as what I said, you will only find out or figure out what happens after you made that first action.
mm.
So you gotta be an action taker.
I love it, bro. That's great advice, man. You got to do it, right? You have to do
Gotta
it.
do it.
Sometimes, man, it's just you gotta seize that opportunity.
Yeah.
Jameer,
Whatever comes in your life, do it.
when you're not hustling, when you're not working, when you're not getting to it on the freelance side, what do you enjoy to do as a hobby? Like what do your you know downtime look like? What do you enjoy doing,
Oh,
man?
you mean right now during
Yeah,
this
yeah,
pandemic?
yeah. Well, pandemic or not pandemic, what kind of hobbies do you have, man? What do you enjoy?
Well, I really love basketball, bro. I love playing the sport. I always do that, but of course, with this pandemic, it's not allowed, unfortunately. So I had to make some sudden, a twist in terms of hobbies. I love mixing music, bro. I DJ, so that's what I do. I DJ almost every day for about an hour or two, just to relieve the stress away. I kind of like to tap on different genres, EDM, house music, hip hop, all those stuff.
I
Mix.
love it.
I actually do some live streams on Facebook, just for the sake of it, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Dude, that's awesome, man. EDM, hip hop. Bro, when I come to Philippines, when this pandemic is over, we throwing a banger at your house, man. We're
Dude,
gonna
I've been longing to do that. Actually, I think about 2 months ago, bro. I really thought that the pandemic would be over.
Me
Nah,
too.
seriously. So what I did, crazy thing I did, right here in front of my garage, just right here outside my office, I made some roof, right? Made a roof all set because I was planning to throw a after pandemic party with my friends. Bought a pool because I was planning to put all the beers and the booze there, all chilled over, and I'm gonna be having a blast, a wild party in my house. And then, realization kicks in that it's not gonna be happening very soon. So I was hold off to throwing party just for myself, man.
Hey, man. Well, it won't last forever, so we'll take a rain check on that party. But
For sure, man. For sure, for
hopefully
sure.
COVID will be out of here soon, man, and they can get a vaccine going for it because
Yeah,
this is getting old. Living like this, the mask, the gloves, it's just getting old now. I'm tired of it. I know you're tired. Everybody's tired of it.
everybody's tired of it, man.
Yo, Jamir, man, you're also the host of your own podcast, which I was a guest
Oh
on.
yeah.
We're gonna put that in the show notes. But tell us what you have going on. Tell us about the podcast. Tell us about anything that you have going on. Anything you'd like to promote and share with the audience. So that they can check you out and all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Yes, what you mentioned. I get a show going on. It's called Nothing But Up, the podcast. It's a Philippine podcast show, totally dedicated for Filipinos living here in our country, um, trying to put some inspiration with all the folks here from where I'm at, right here in the Philippines. Because you may not realize this, bro, and some of our listeners might not realize this, but we are totally hit by the pandemic really hard, bro. A lot of companies closing in. Um, you know, uh, Filipinos not having jobs, and working freelance or doing freelance jobs here is something unique, I'd say, for most of my countrymen. So I'm kind of like introducing that to them that hey, from a security guard like me, you can always try and make a living out of doing freelance jobs, like what I'm doing. So I'm sharing my knowledge, bro, sharing my success story to everybody and with my audience. So I'm dropping new episodes. That's every Saturday, 8 in the morning, PHT. That's Philippine time. On Eastern, that's 8 a.m. Eastern, Saturday. So 8 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, I mean, which is 8 in the morning here. So dropping episodes there weekly. Kind of like doing some live streams over every Saturday too, at opposite time, 8 in the evening. Just random episodes I'm throwing in for people. And yeah, appreciate everybody that has tuned in. And if you haven't, try and check me out. It's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. You can also check me out on YouTube. Just try to search for it. Nothing but up the podcast. And I have Ross Alex here. One of my episodes. I think it's episode. I don't know if I'm remember it correctly. I think it's episode 7 or 6, somewhere to that. So
Yeah, they
you
got to
can check
check
it
that
out.
out.
Check it
It's
out.
a great podcast, man. You put a lot of time and effort into it, so
Yeah, man.
we'll definitely link that for you. And dude, Jameer, man, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I'm inspired, man. You have a really great come up story, and I know the listeners are inspired as well, man. So thank you so much. Much appreciation.
Yeah, man. I mean, I appreciate you for inviting me to over, man. Appreciate for that.
Absolutely, bro. We'll have to
More power to you,
we'll
man.
have to do a part two. So I'm working
I'd
on
love
this.
that.
I'm working on this segment, right? Hear me out on this. So one of my guests mentioned this idea to me. So I'm thinking
Uh-huh.
about doing the "Where Are They Now" part two.
Ah, interesting, huh?
You see what I'm saying? So hey, a year, 2 years from now, gets you back. Maybe you'll have the Lambo. Maybe you have.
I'm
But
getting your vibe, Ross. I like that. I
my
like that, Ross.
man. Well, dude, enjoy the rest of your night and have a great weekend and all that good stuff, man. Of course, we'll stay connected. Thanks again,
For
bro.
sure.
Talk to you soon.